This is a South Dakota DOT video update on the construction progress of I-90 Exit 14 at Spearfish, South Dakota for the week of December 19th, 2017. I'm Bryan Lessly. Well, this will be our final video update of the current construction season. Work will continue for the next 2 to 3 weeks and then slow down considerably for January, February, and March. Most of the work to be finished yet includes curb and gutter work, some paving, and some electrical work. Well, let's begin our report with traffic flow. If you haven't noticed already, the southbound lanes and eastbound off-ramp are now receiving traffic. And this means that there is one lane of northbound and one lane of southbound traffic on 27th Street across the top of the new bridge. Each have a straight shot across, no traffic jogs. So that's good news. As a result of this, there is now an all-way stop in the middle of the bridge, which is actually pretty close to the way the final configuration of the project will be. Of course, at that time, there will be traffic lights and more lanes open upon the completion in the spring. Temporary pavement markings are scheduled to be put in place this week to make traffic flow and navigation through the intersection a little bit easier. And this configuration will be in place until spring, when it warms up enough for the crews to come back in and apply the permanent pavement lane markings, and that will allow all lanes across the bridge to be open. Meanwhile, paving crews are filling in the gaps in the center turn lanes at each end of the bridge, along with the curb and gutter work. And the temporary crossovers are being removed. Some of the barrels and cones are being removed, which will clean things up a bit and have the added benefit of easier snow removal over the winter. Well, the traffic signal bridge was taken down and laid aside last November. The new spacers for the modification have arrived, as you can see, and new bolts that are needed to reassemble it, which will be about 4 inches longer than the ones you see here. Those are expected in within the next couple of weeks. The signal bridge should be put back in place in January, and the lights on the signal bridge, as well as those at 27th and 1st Avenue and those at 27th and Colorado, should all be on flashing red within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and they will stay that way for the duration of the winter months. So here are the items that have been completed recently. The removal of the old eastbound off-ramp, the chain link fences along the retaining walls and the top of the bridge, painting on the outside of the bridge barriers, membrane seals on the bridge joints that have been closed to traffic. All wood formwork has also been removed from under the bridge. Work that continues or is nearing completion includes the curb and gutter work, pouring the colored concrete in the raised medians on 27th Street and around the inside islands of the bridge, and electrical conduit installation, including under the bridge, which may result in daytime only single-lane traffic on I-90 for short periods of time. Also, installation of permanent signage continues in the areas that have been completed. Work on the sidewalks and the rec path does continue. Will be ongoing this week at least until Thursday, and that is when it is expected to turn very cold. Also, this note, the big red crane in the median of I-90 will be broken down and removed later in January once the ground is frozen, and that will necessitate some temporary single-lane closures on I-90. One more note with the new 4-way stop at the top of the bridge, it's more important than ever to use your turn signals for increased safety when moving through this intersection. Through the winter months, be patient moving through the work zone. Be aware of any workers that are there and construction vehicles that may continue to be working. If you would like a PDF or text version of this report, they are available at these locations. Weekly public meetings on the project will be put on hold after Christmas to be resumed in the spring. Again, the DOT and the prime contractor on the project, thank you for your patience as construction work is nearing completion. We will be back with these reports in the spring or as needed if conditions require. Expect a ribbon cutting on the project later this spring. As always, on behalf of the DOT and the prime contractor, we thank you for watching.